Number 15. Steve Irwin's final dive. For many, Steve Irwin was their gateway into nature. Irwin was best known as the crocodile hunter. He was a renowned naturalist, zoologist, and conservationist, on top of being one of the most recognized TV personalities. In September 2006, Irwin was filming a new documentary when he was being filmed snorkeling with a group of stingrays in shallow waters off Queensland, Australia. As he approached a stingray, it turned around and began poking its tail into Irwin before swimming away. The barb had gone right into Irwin's heart, and he sadly passed on his boat before he could be treated. All footage of the incident was handed over to the authorities as part of their investigation. Afterwards, all footage was destroyed after his wife requested authorities to do so. Irwin's memory continues through his wife Terry and their children's continued environmental work, and his legacy is bound to continue. Number 14. The Internet Love Story. Armin Maiwes had a strange desire to consume a willing participant and looked online to find someone. A frequent user of a website for just that, he posted an advertisement searching for someone who would be willing to be eaten. Several people answered his ad, but backed out, which Maiwes accepted and never attempted to force others to go through with it. Eventually, he received an answer from Bern Brandes, and the two ended up meeting. The two actually ate bits of Brandes, all while recording the entire thing. Brandes later passed at the hand of Maiwes after several hours. Maiwes then went back online to search for another participant, but a concerned person notified authorities. Maiwes was charged and is now serving life behind bars. Maiwes' tapes were never released, and those who have seen it state they are flabbergasted at how Brandes acts. He is never in distress at any point. Because of his willing participation, it became a source of controversy in the trial. Maiwes has since changed his ways and is now a vegetarian, claiming he will never eat meat again. The tapes have claimed to have been leaked several times, but all have been proven to be a hoax. The current whereabouts of the tapes are unknown. Number 13. Brandon Lee. 1994 film The Crow has turned into one of the biggest cult hits of film history. The movie's dark storyline and atmosphere got even darker after this incident on set. Near the end of principal photography, while filming a scene, actor Brandon Lee was supposed to walk in carrying bags of groceries. He was then to be shot, and bags full of fake blood were to explode from the grocery bags. Unbeknownst to the actors and crew, one of the guns had a piece from a dummy round lodged in the barrel, left there after it wasn't checked properly. As the scene was being filmed, Lee walked in, and actor Michael Massey fired a blank round, which sent the projectile flying as powerful as an actual round. It hit Lee in the chest, causing him to collapse. Lee was rushed for treatment but ultimately passed away. Production was temporarily halted as the crew and cast had to grasp the situation. After much discussion, Lee's family allowed the film to continue production. As long as the footage of this incident was destroyed, the film was completed with the use of stand-ins for Lee and was released in memory of him. Massey developed PTSD, took a year off acting, and never saw the film. In an interview 12 years later, he revealed he still has nightmares of the incident. Number 12. Owen Hart's fall. Pro wrestling gained a massive fan base during the 90s, with many tuning in to watch their favorite wrestler personalities enter the ring. One of the most renowned wrestling families are the Harts, from Calgary, Canada. Youngest of the family was Owen, who played in the WWF as the Blue Blazer. On May 23, 1999, Owen was participating in the Over the Edge pay-per-view event in Kansas City, Missouri. Owen was meant to descend from the ceiling into the ring, then fall face first when nearly on the ground, as a comedic element to his persona. As he came down in the ring, the release mechanism triggered too early, and Owen dropped several feet and directly onto his chest. He was rushed for treatment. Sadly, Owen did not recover and he passed away. While the entire event was airing live on pay-per-view, the cameras were trained on the audience at the time of this happening, and it was not seen except by those present at the arena. The WWF announced they had no intention of releasing the video of this incident, and all that exists are still images taken by audience members. Number 11. CIA tapes. The CIA has been known to use extreme interrogation methods in order to extract information. Being a secretive organization already, it's no surprise the CIA has done everything it can to keep their interrogation tapes under wraps. The CIA has kept their records of interrogation behind locked doors. The videos include various advanced interrogation techniques. Despite demand, the CIA has refused to release any of their interrogation tapes to the public, meaning the majority of us will never know how extreme their techniques are. Number 10. Sesame Street 847. For such a child-friendly show, it's hard to imagine any form of controversy resulting in an episode being banned. The so-called episode 847 aired on February 10, 1976. In the episode, Margaret Hamilton reprised her role as the Wicked Witch of the West from The Wizard of Oz. The Wicked Witch loses her broom on Sesame Street, and it ends up in the hands of David after he refuses to return the broom to the witch. She causes havoc on the street, making it rain in a shop, and threatening to use Big Bird to make a feather duster. While only a series of harmless threats, there was a negative reaction from the viewers. Parents wrote into the network, saying their children were frightened by its content, and now refuse to watch the show. Some letters even claim their children screamed and cried at the sight of the witch, and hearing her threats. Producers set up a series of test views of the episode a soon while after, in order to see the reactions firsthand. However, they were unable to replicate any of the claims. This is believed to be due to subjects viewing the episode as a collective, rather than individually. Despite this, the CTW Research Department recommended the episode not be aired in reruns, and all copies are believed to have been destroyed. A child's mind can run wild, and in this case, it resulted in the loss of an episode of a beloved children's series. Number 9. The Ken and Barbie tapes. Paul Bernardo and Carla Homolka seem like the perfect couple. The two of them were completely devoted to each other. However, they both harbored a dark secret, one which has forever vilified them. Between 1990 and 1992, Bernardo and Homolka took and did unspeakable things to 4 girls in the basement of their home. After their capture, Homolka portrayed herself as an unwilling accomplice in the happenings. The prosecutors struck a deal with Homolka that she would receive a light sentence in exchange for her testimony against Bernardo. She accepted, and the trial went on. Eventually, tapes were discovered the couple had made. The judge allowed for the audio to be played for the jury. To everyone's horror, Homolka turned out to be a willing participant, even taunting the girls. Unfortunately, the deal had already been made. Homolka was released in 2005 and is now living in the Caribbean with a new husband and 3 children. Bernardo is still locked up and will never be released. The tapes have never been made public, nor have the audio, since cameras are forbidden from Canadian courtrooms. Much of the jury had to seek counseling in the aftermath, and officials have stated the tapes will never be released to the public. Apparently, the tapes are still kept in storage at Toronto Police Headquarters, where they will likely remain to collect dust. Number 8. Saddam's Final Moments. While considered progressive on several issues, Saddam was notorious for suppressing people, most notably the Kurdish people of the north and the majority Shia population of the country. After the American-led invasion of Iraq in 2003, Saddam fled the capital of Baghdad, but was captured in December. He was tried and convicted of crimes against humanity. On the 30th of December 2006, Saddam's sentencing was carried, ending his 20-year reign. The media was banned from filming. Someone managed to capture video on his cell phone though throughout the entire process. As of today, the video seems to be lost in the vast ocean that is the web. Iraqi officials have done their best to suppress any further leaks of the video, and it appears they have managed to succeed. Number 7. Australia's Naughtiest Home Videos. America's Funniest Home Videos has seen popularity since the show first aired in 1989. It has also inspired spin-off programs around the world. In 1992, Australia's 9 Network produced a spin-off to Australia's Funniest Home Videos, titled Australia's Naughtiest Home Videos. The show was meant to be a compilation of funny videos, but with more explicit content than the other versions. During its first broadcast, 9 Network owner Kerry Packer was eating dinner when a friend phoned him and informed him of the show's content. Packer watched the show and then furiously called the station, telling them to immediately pull it from the air. Minutes later, the show went to commercial, followed by an announcement of technical difficulties. The show never returned to air, and reruns of Cheers were played instead. The series was permanently shelved, and Packer forbade its release in any format. For nearly 16 years, Australia's Naughtiest Home Videos remained unseen in its entirety to the public until it was rediscovered in the 9 Network headquarters. Although it is no longer banned from airing, it has gained widespread popularity due to the story behind its bizarre removal from broadcast. Number 6. Home. The X-Files took television by storm. When it first aired in 1993, over the course of its production, it included several memorable episodes, which did not shy away from grotesque and outright terrifying plots. The second episode of Season 4 was titled Home, and it gained a controversial reputation during its broadcast. The story centers around Mulder and Scully are helping local police investigate the discovery of infant remains in Home, Pennsylvania. They stumble upon the Peacock family, hideously deformed brothers who remain recluse on their farm. What made the episode high on the disturbance scale is when Mulder and Scully find a woman in the farmhouse, initially believing her to have been taken. It turns out the baby was one of hers and her son's offspring. The subject matter and imagery in the episode made it the first X-Files episode to receive a viewer discretion is advised warning at the beginning, as well as the only episode to have been rated TVMA. While most critics praised the plot and even the disturbing content, others were critical, stating it was too excessive for television. As a result of public opinion, Fox Network has not included Home in reruns, and it has not since been broadcasted on television. However, the episode is still available on home release, but it is the only way anyone can view it for themselves. Number 5. Timothy and Amy's Final Moments. Subject of the documentary Grizzly Man, Timothy Treadwell spent several years living in the Katmai National Park in Alaska, studying and living with grizzly bears. Treadwell was a major environmental activist, advocating for expanding protection to wildlife worldwide. He would also speak in front of schools for free in order to educate young students about the importance of protecting the environment. Despite his advocacy, he received a lot of criticism, with many stating his actions were dangerous and even harmful. This didn't dissuade him, and he continued his expeditions for 13 years. During all 13 years, Treadwell recorded hundreds of hours of footage, capturing the wildlife and his interactions with them. These images have been praised for how beautiful they are, and how intimate the interactions with the animals became during his time in the park. On his last expedition, Treadwell and his girlfriend, Amy Huguenard, extended their visit in order for Treadwell to locate a female bear he had become attached to. Treadwell and Huguenard were last heard from on October 5th when the two contacted a friend from Malibu via satellite phone. Treadwell reported all was well and there were no issues. The next day, bush pilot Willie Fulton landed near their camp and began searching for them. Instead, he came across a bear. He retreated back to his plane and contacted the park services. After they arrived, Treadwell and Huguenard were discovered. The bear was still at the camp protecting its food. Treadwell's camera was also discovered, having recorded the audio of their final moments. The lens cap was still on, leaving no video of their demise. The tape is in the possession of Treadwell's and Huguenard's friend, Jewel Pavelak. During Grizzly Man, director Werner Herzog is shown listening to the tape in horror and urges their friend to destroy the tape. It is unknown if she did so, but it is most likely never going to be available for the public to hear. Number 4. Song of the South. Not always do we not see a film released due to a ban. Sometimes it's a direct result of the production company. Song of the South is a Walt Disney film released in 1946, set in the Reconstruction era of the southern United States. The plot revolves around 6-year-old Johnny, who is on vacation at his grandmother's plantation. The controversy is rather obvious, with criticism focused on the portrayal of characters in the film. Due to the negative reception, Disney has never released Song of the South in home media format and no longer comments on it whatsoever. However, its legacy is still seen through the Splash Mountain ride, which includes Briar Rabbit, Briar Fox, and Briar Bear in the attraction. Number 3. Christine Chubbuck's last broadcast. Stress in the workplace has become an epidemic. Christine Chubbuck is by far the most sad example. Christine was a journalist working for WXLT TV in Sarasota, Florida. She stated to family her depression was made worse from her workload and how her career made it difficult for her to have stable relationships. Christine approached her station manager in 1974 to request to do a story relating to taking one's own life, which was approved. She spent the next 3 weeks researching the topic and speaking to experts, including psychologists and police officers. On July 15, 1974, Christine claimed she was supposed to open the morning talk show, Suncoast Digest. She discussed 3 different news stories. Film reel meant to show footage of a story jammed, so Christine continued to speak while technicians worked on the problem. To everyone's surprise, Christine removed a revolver from her purse and took her life. Cameras quickly faded to black and Christine collapsed, and a movie was played while Christine was rushed for treatment. Sadly, Christine passed away 14 hours later in hospital. All existing footage of the incident was destroyed by request of the family, and no known existing footage exists. Thankfully, it will never be viewable by the public ever again. Number 2. Operation Neptune Spear. After years on the run and several near misses, Osama was finally tracked down to a compound in northeast Pakistan. After months of planning, special forces were deployed to the compound with the mission to end him. The entire operation was videotaped and streamed back to the White House, where President Barack Obama, Vice President Joe Biden, and others watched nervously. Much to their relief, the operation was a success. To this day, the footage of the operation and all photos have never been released, despite demand from people to see in order to fully confirm the claimed happenings. The images of Osama have been confirmed to exist by government officials, but it has also been confirmed none will ever be intentionally released to the public, and they remain hidden under tight security. Before we get to number 1, my name is Chills and I hope you're enjoying the video so far. If you've ever been curious as to what I look like in real life, then follow me on Instagram at DylanIsChillinYT with underscores instead of spaces. I also have a Twitter at YT_chills where I post video updates. I'd really appreciate it if you followed me, and feel free to send me a DM if you have any questions or suggestions. Also, I recently created a subreddit where you can submit videos and stories for future lists. It's r/chillsnarrator, and the link is in the description below. It's a proven fact that generosity makes you a happier person, so if you're generous enough to hit that subscribe button and the bell beside it, then thank you. This way you'll be notified of the new videos we upload every Tuesday and Saturday. If English isn't the only language you speak and you're interested in getting a shout out, click more, then add translations. By translating the video, not only will more people be able to watch it, but a link to your channel will be added in the description. Number 1. Newtown surveillance footage. Nothing can compare to the horrific acts in Newtown, Connecticut. On December 14, 2012, the incident sent shockwaves across the world. Then President Barack Obama attempted to push through 23 executive orders and attempted to get 12 actions through Congress. Unfortunately, these failed to pass congressional vote. Even worse, the event has sparked massive conspiracy theories, the largest of which is the incident was a hoax orchestrated by the Obama administration in order to take away rights. There's been demand for authorities to release the surveillance footage incident. Investigators have refused, stating it is evidence, and out of respect for those who passed, why anyone would want to watch such a thing is beyond comprehension. But as long as there are unanswered questions, there will always be ridiculous theories. Wait, don't leave yet. I have something to show you. We made this top 15 list a little while ago and I think you're really gonna like it. Check it out and tell me what you think.